This man going missing in action. I don't care that Ray got hurt. A guy this important shouldn't be directionless 20 days out from WrestleMania. He killed the careers of 3 of the biggest names in wrestling history. He should be the biggest heel going into the biggest show. Find a challenger. I 1,000,000% agree. I have said that this is a major failure on WWE's part. I've had a lot of people come to WWE's defense, which I think is a weird thing to do, saying that it's not their fault. Injuries happen. I get it. I understand injuries happen, but you have to, like Ross from Friends, pivot, because you can't leave a guy this big, this important, this guy that you have invested so much time, effort, money, and careers into off of the WrestleMania card. I still think he could get on the WrestleMania card with something, but 3 weeks out from WrestleMania, he should not be directionless. They should have already had the next move, the pivot away from Rey Mysterio, if it wasn't gonna materialize. Cody Rhodes lost the title, lost the Rumble, lost the Elimination Chamber, and then somehow still ended up as the undisputed champion anyway. That whole road to WrestleMania just felt off. Instead of a real grind back to the top, it kind of came across like everything was just handed back to him in the end. I get what they're going for, but the booking made it feel less like a journey and more like a shortcut. Fans aren't wrong for calling it out. It just didn't hit the way it was supposed to. I think you worded this perfectly. I do think that we missed out on that grind, that climb back to the top for Cody Rhodes. And I think there's a lot of pieces that are the reason for this. I do think one of them is the very rushed Drew McIntyre World Championship reign that should have probably just started a lot earlier, but also the lack of ramifications, the lack of consequences towards Cody Rhodes losing all of these major opportunities, I think is crazy. Him losing the Rumble, him losing the Elimination Chamber felt like nothing. It felt like there was no roadblock in front of him, because even though he failed at all of those opportunities, it still all came right back around to Cody Rhodes' happy land, and he became WWE champion anyway. And I think that's problematic. I do think that the guy that kind of made his name struggling, whether it's like through the Stardust gimmick, having to go to the Indies, having to make a name himself for somewhere else, having to make another company, to come back, to tear his pec, to win the Rumble, to lose at Mania, to have to win the Rumble again, to finally win, the guy that has grinded to get to where he is, all of a sudden doesn't have to grind anymore, and things just sort of get given to him. And I think that, like you said, it's a shortcut, and it's a shortcut that hurts the image of Cody Rhodes in my eyes. An image that, like I said, he spent like a decade building as the guy that grinds to get to the top. So yeah, I do think that this is a huge portion as to why this road to WrestleMania has just sort of felt off.